Yo, it's BJ from Without Warning, and today we're filming our first video in a series of videos on how to use a tuner and how to do load development with a tuner. So today's video, the first one, we will cover how to tune factory ammo and also how to do load development with zero load development. So loading a bunch of rounds, 20 thou off the lands, all with the same charge weight, just a random charge weight, and using the tuner to dial in the load and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of it, because that's obviously the fastest and quickest method to do load development with a tuner. The second video will be an extended version of the first method, so we will let the tuner do the work for the seating depth test. We'll eliminate that and let the tuner do it, and then we will do a charge weight test afterwards and see what kind of accuracy we can get. And the third video, we will do the more traditional method of tailoring your loads to match the barrel. We'll leave the tuner on at its default 0 setting. We will get the best load we can, and then we will use the tuner to dial in the last bit of accuracy. And we'll compare all the different methods, we'll compare the results, we'll shoot them all over a chrono, and we'll see the pros and cons of each and what the different methods actually get you. So you can make up your mind on which method is best for you. So the hand loads that we'll be shooting today are 130 grain Norma diamond lines. There's no specific reason why we're using them over the golden targets, other than they were just cheaper. We're using 6.5 Creed Starline small rifle primer brass. We're using CCI BR4 primers, and we're using 43 grains of H4350 or AR2209 for us Australians, which is the same thing. The loads were loaded on a coax with Hornady dies. We used a Chargemaster light for the powder throws, and we set the neck tension with a mandrel. So nothing crazy there with the reloads, just good consistent ammo that hopefully gives us good results. The rifle we're using is a rifle we got just for these tests. This is a stock Bergara HMR Pro with a TriggerTech Diamond 2-stage trigger in it. That's the only modification. We've got a Carlos 525 on it with Night Force rings. We've got a Henderson Arca rail with an MDT Skypod, a TMB of course, which is the same as the production models, it's just raw. And we've got the infamous American Rifle magazines, which I love. I don't really care what other people say. And yeah, if we can get this rifle to shoot, no doubt you'll be able to get your more expensive fancy rifles to shoot. So let's go and do some shooting, and we'll see what we can achieve. Just quickly before we start, these methods are not specific to the TMB, it covers all tuners. And for those of you that are running the TMB, here's how to use it for this method. So turn the tuner all the way on until it stops, and that will be your default 0 setting. Shoot a 3-round control group, and then loosen it again, turn it 2 adjustments, and then tighten it up and shoot another 3-round group. And keep doing this until your groups tighten all the way up, and then keep going again until they open all the way back up again. And when you're doing it, try not to second guess or overthink things. If the group is semi-good, throw it away and just keep going, because you'll definitely know when you find your node, because you know they'll all be one whole 1/4 inch group. On the TMB, you have 24 adjustments per revolution. Each one of these markings is 1 adjustment, and if you get lost while you're turning the tuner, just always turn it all the way back on to its 0 setting and then count backwards to find your place again. You have 3.5 revolutions of adjustment in the tuner, and you have 24 adjustments per revolution. So that's more than enough adjustments that you need to get the setting that you need. And yeah, don't overthink your results, just keep going until you get that magic group. So the results are in, we're done shooting, and to be honest, I'm pretty impressed, especially for zero load development, just loading 100 rounds, 20 thou off the lands, all 43 grains of H4350, and letting the tuner do the work, matching the barrel to the ammo. We've resulted in groups of 1/4 inch with standard deviations of 2.2. So that's pretty impressive. And it showcases the effectiveness of a tuner pretty well. One thing that people don't really discuss about tuners is when you've got a large heavy weight on the end of your barrel, what it does is it slows down the frequency of the vibrations. And what that does is it'll essentially widen the nodes and make them easier to find and easier to stay in. So when we do the third method of tailoring the load to the barrel and then using the tuner to get the last bit of accuracy out of it, I imagine the results will be even more impressive in terms of group size. So what we started off with was a 3/4 inch group and standard deviations of 8.3. They grew to over an inch in group size and 17.8 standard deviations. Then we landed on group 18, which had a 1/4 inch group and standard deviations of 2.2. So like I said, very impressive for zero load development and just shooting 60 rounds to get there. So later on, I shot some steel out to distance, 9 shots over the chrono, and the standard deviations were 4.8. So still very impressive for how little load development we did. So yeah, tomorrow we'll get started on the next video with more in-depth loading, and hopefully we can beat this tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, something you guys might find amusing, I only put one screw in the Arca rail. I forgot to put the others in. So yeah, if you want to shoot 1/4 inch groups holding your Arca rail on with one screw, go get a TMB.